Alright, welcome back everybody to some more Rude. And the song, it loops infinitely, if you were wondering. And I've just literally just been watching or listening to it like while I uploaded the other episodes on repeat. And I mean, you get tired of it, but then you like go through the motions and it comes back around and you start vibing again, and it's just amazing. It's so simple, but beautiful in simplicity. Anyway, the Lone Wanderer then is the final faction in this Root game, where we play this solo character. I believe it's this guy here. He is ready to be learned, and let's just dive in. See what he's all about. Now, he is very tricky and probably the one who strays the farthest, I mean, from the basic rules of the game, but at the same time overlapping in many ways. Look at this setup here, it's so different. So let's see what he's all about. The wily Vagabond wishes to gain fame or infamy in the midst of this brewing conflict. He scores by completing quests for the creatures of the woodland and by aiding and harming the other factions. So the marquee sets up in this corner, means the Eerie would start down here if they were present, but I guess not. Okay. I was wondering, like, you probably can't play like 1v1 with the Vagabond and like the Marquis or anyone for that matter. I don't think that would work. So the Vagabond would probably only be for 3 or more players. I don't think it makes sense otherwise. Anyway, your Vagabond character is represented by a single pawn that can move and fight like a warrior and begins the game in a forest. That's right, he doesn't obey the normal clearing capacity rules, or like the other characters only use, or factions only use the clearings and then the roads between the clearings, but he doesn't care, like he can move wherever, so he starts in the forest. Being early risers, Vagabond may slip between forests and clearings each birdsong. Let's slip into a clearing. So, let's see, let me just understand what's going on here. He's in this forest tile right now. This over here is a forest tile, so he can slip across. He can slip across here, slip across there, or into an adjacent clearing. I guess this forest tile is one tile here, right? Even though it's broken by the river, it does look like what you're looking at then is the roads make up what are forest sections. You see how every road section cuts off a forest. So that makes a lot of sense. So they want us now to slip into this clearing here. He can also be in those, of course. So leaving the forest, he enters the Marquis' territories. These are your actions down here. Let's see, he has move, battle, and explore. Alright, we'll get to those in time. Your available actions are mostly determined by the items you hold in your satchel. So we can do move, battle, and explore because we have a boot, a sword, and a torch, right? Used for those actions. Easy to understand. When an item is used to perform an action, it is exhausted. You can't take that action again until the item is refreshed in birdsong. Ruins. And I don't think we've talked about ruins at all yet, but if you look around the board now, you will notice that not each clearing, but many of the clearings have gotten an extra building, and it sometimes occupies a building slot. Well, it always occupies a building slot at the start of the game, and those are called ruins. The Vagabond is the only one who can interact with those. But when he says so here, when you explore them, you can find an item, but doing so opens up a slot for building. So when he deals with those tiles, then the other factions can build in those tiles. So explore the ruin in your space using the torch item. Let's do that. Explore. So he finds a hammer, gaining a victory point. Explore gained you 1 VP, and a hammer that can be used to craft cards from your hand. Move into the clearing to your right to craft a card requiring that suit. So they want us to move into the mouse clearing over here. Because when we are in a mouse clearing, then now we have the craft action available. Craft a craft from your hand. All of your hammer match your current clearing. Aha. Okay. So if we needed, so this is easy to understand. For the mouse clearing, we have one hammer, and we are in a mouse clearing. Then we can craft the mouse in a sack. If we wanted to craft the arms dealer, we would need 2 hammers and to be in a fox clearing. That's how that works. And now I reiterated what they're going to say up here, but I'm going to read it out loud anyway. So each hammer you exhaust contributes 1 toward crafting cards with the cost matching the suit of your clearing. Collecting more hammers will allow you to craft more expensive cards, indeed. Craft mouse in a sack now to score 1 victory point and gain an item. And so I mentioned this earlier, but some of the cards, when you craft them, they have these little icons on them, and those are for the Vagabond. He uses these cards to craft items for himself. So we craft, we get the little sack icon. There. The number of items you can hold is limited by the 6 slots in your satchel. Each sack you acquire increases the amount of standard items, that's swords, crossbows, boots, torches, and hammers, that you can store in your satchel by 2. And you'd notice that before there was only 6 slots down here, as soon as I added the sack, it did indeed expand the track, which is really cool and very intuitive. I love this design of this game. It's so intuitive. The sack and money and the kettle, I guess, items don't take up room in your satchel and can provide their effect automatically without needing to exhaust them. Okay, so that's a good example here. The satchel, we've got the, what are they called? Don't know, but the other things can sit down here. Most of your items are exhausted, so let's end daylight and rest. We could battle, I suppose, but right now they don't want us to battle, and there might be a good reason why. So let's just leave it at that for now. Root tea. Dawn. Marquis the cat does his thing, or her thing for that matter. I think the Marquis is a lady title, right? I'm actually not sure. Here we have the Woodland faction trying to revolt in the Marquis' Woodland territories. They're mobilizing and doing all the things that we have learned about. During Birdsong, you refresh 3 items. Okay, I thought it was all of them, but so here I'm already learning stuff. This makes their actions available again. And we only had 3 that were exhausted, so we got all of them refreshed for free. Ah, I see the Woodland Alliance has a crossbow for trade. Slip into the forest above you to head their way. And so this is very important, because before, when we were crafting cards with the other factions, they were added to this crafted items track, and they can't use them for themselves, but they can trade them to the Vagabond for stuff. Right, so they want us to move up here with our free move, the slip as it were. Now move into the mouse clearing sympathetic to the Woodland Alliance. We can figure that one out. That would be up here. You can now give a card matching your clearing's suit to another player in your clearing to improve your relationship with them. So that's a new button down here. Aid. Exhaust any item and give a card matching your clearing to another player in that clearing. Take an item from that player if possible. So we want to select the Woodland Alliance. We don't have a mouse card, but we do have a Joker card / wild card, the bird card. Put that up here. You must exhaust an item of your choice to aid. Exhaust your satchel. So then we would lose carrying capacity? Temporarily. No, I guess not. If the player you aid has crafted any items, they will give you 1 in return. I think you are allowed to take 1. They don't decide what they give. Good. That is interesting. That's yeah. Oh yeah, exhausting the satchel, the sack bag, did indeed lower our carrying capacity. But that's fine as long as we don't need that for anything, right? So just keep that in mind. Thank you for the aid, friend. Be careful with that crossbow we gave you. Exhausted items always take up room in your satchel. Even bags, money, and the other thing. I think it's a coffee kettle. And won't provide their effect until you refresh them. Yeah. Interesting, yeah. So then it takes up space in the satchel all of a sudden. So not only did we lose 2, we also use 1 more slot, effectively losing or occupying 3 tiles that we had available before, if you do the math. The crossbow then can be used to remove warriors without needing to battle. So he's like sniping them out of combat, which is kind of interesting. He doesn't have to be a good guy, he might be like an assassin. You can even use the crossbow to remove a building or a token, so long as its owner doesn't have any warrior there. Use it now on those unsuspecting cats. So we strike, remove a piece in your clearing, warriors first. We will assassinate a cat. Pew pew. On guard, that wily vagabond is no friend of the Marquis. Whoops. I probably should have mentioned that killing enemy warriors will make them hostile with you for the rest of the game. Such is the life of the Vagabond. Once an enemy is hostile, your infamy scores you an extra victory point each time you remove one of their pieces in battle on your turn. However, you must exhaust an additional boot to move into spaces with hostile warriors. Use your sword to battle their weakened army. The maximum number of hits you can deal is determined by how many swords you have, even if they are exhausted. Okay. Huh, interesting. So, I mean, there's only 1 warrior here, so we only need 1 sword. Then we battle. And I wonder what they do when they do damage to us, but I'm hoping that we might learn that here. We don't, because they don't do any damage. We still get the higher die because we are attacking the Marquis and not the Woodland Alliance, so that's good. Perform actions using items. They want me to continue to evening, that's fine. Marquis the cat's turn. So now we have chosen to ally ourselves with the Woodland Alliance and we are hostile to the Marquis. Oh, they're causing a lot of outrage here. But they are attacking me. Well, this doesn't seem like a fair fight. Oh no. When you take hits in battle, you must damage that many items. You can choose exhausted or unexhausted items. So damaging them is different from them being exhausted, I suppose. Okay. Choose items to damage. Okay. So the tutorial hasn't selected anything for us here, so I will go for a hammer, a crossbow, and maybe the torch. Continue. When you take hits in battle, oh yeah, that's what it says. And we killed 1. And that is marked by a red line across that specific item. They still take up space in the satchel, which is worth noting. Woodland Alliance is crafting an item, so we now have some boots to go and buy from them. Choose items to refresh. So I think this makes sense. Many of our items were damaged in our last battle and are useless until we repair them, yes. Slipping into the forest lets you repair all items during evening and will protect you from being attacked on enemy turns. Okay, so you want to slip into the forest. There are a few actions that you can take in a forest. Oh, so this one, they're like saying, okay, we got damaged so badly, can't really do a lot right now, best to just skip the turn and get our items repaired. So kind of, I guess it's kind of a boring turn, but I mean, that's the danger of being hostile to a faction, right? Outrage is being caused again and again. They're crafting yet another item, a sword. Smuggler's trail. And a bag. Okay, they are really crafting. Very convenient for the scenario. Now that your items are in tip-top shape, you should be ready to take on them on a new quest. A bear is rampaging in a clearing, in a mouse clearing nearby. Slip there to see if we can help. Bear. Huh, I wonder what indicates that a bear is rampaging in here. Maybe that's just flavor text for now. Select your quest's action to see what you will need to fend off the bear. Alright. Available quests. Complete quests to score points or draw cards. Okay. You have what it takes to fend off a bear. To complete a quest, you need to be in a clearing matching its suit and exhaust the items required. So, fend off a bear in a mouse clearing. Items requires a torch and a crossbow. Claim this quest and pick a reward. Either draw 2 cards or gain 1 victory point. Well, we can do that. Pick your reward. The victory point reward for each quest is increased by 1 for each quest you have completed in the same suit. I see. So then it feels to me like the first quest you would probably just want to draw cards. After you complete a quest, you draw a new one. You can review your 3 active quests at any time by selecting your quest book. That's how we know. So we can do guard duty in a rabbit clearing, we can do repair a shed in a fox clearing, and they are color coded as well, which is nice. Give a speech in a fox clearing, very cool. Yeah, continue. Reach the next relationship level with the Woodland Alliance by aiding them twice in 1 turn. To improve your relationship to the 2nd and 3rd levels, you must aid 2 and 3 times respectively in a single turn. Okay, it has to be in a single turn. Other players don't have to have the items for trade to aid them, but you do not have to give them a card. Interesting. Hold on. So how do you aid them then? Or like what is the purpose then? I guess the purpose is to gain the next level of relationship, but I guess there's no cost. Each time you increase your relationship with a faction, you gain more victory points. When you reach the final level of your relationship, you become allied and earn 2 points each time you provide them with an additional aid. Perform actions using items. Goals. Aid the Woodland Alliance twice in 1 turn. Okay, and we are in a clearing with the Woodland Alliance, so I would like to aid them. Exhaust any item and give a card. Oh, we still have to exhaust items in order to do it, I suppose. Matching your clearing to another player. In that clearing, take an item of that from the player is possible. So, we can do it right away. Yep. Scouting party. We're doing both, so it doesn't really matter here. Just do this. Aiding Woodland Alliance, and then we can get a... I think I would like... Well, a hammer would be really useful, because then we can craft this card down here. Yep. Continue. And then choose an item to take. This is if we're doing it again, and then I would like what? Do we need the satchel? I guess not right now. So boot for another move seems really nice. Continue. They gain the cards, I gain the items, but we should check this screen here real quick. Your effort is appreciated. Aid us again to show you are a true comrade of the Alliance. Oh, hold on. Didn't I just do that? Oh, hold on. Back. I guess I didn't do it twice. Hold on. But can I not see the relationship tracks in here? I want to see like the track that they were talking about, but maybe it's not enough to see this. So we ate them again using the other mouse card. Right, that's why it's glowing down here, because we've already been selected. We got the boot. Choose an item to exhaust. Ah, this is what we're doing first. So I didn't get a hammer before. That's why I was confused. I exhausted the hammer and then got a boot. I see. So now I exhaust a boot and will take a sword. Yes. Explore another ruin, complete another quest, and score 15 victory points to complete this scenario. Alright. I mean, not the hardest character to understand as such. I think he is a very complex one to play, though, and probably win with. Because you have a lot of freedom in where you want to go and who you want to interact with. You need to make smart choices on who to ally yourself with. It seems like he can be kind of a kingmaker character, is my only critique for him. And this is me not having played a serious game with another player ever, so take my words with a grain of salt. But I feel like whoever the Vagabond chooses to ally themselves with have a huge advantage in the game, right? And so a little bit of a kingmaker mechanic, but I'm sure they've calculated that in. So we need to explore a ruin. We can't do that right now. We need to complete a quest. We can't do that right now. And we need to score victory points. So in a rapid clearing, we need... can I look at both at the same time? No, we don't have a torch, and they all require a torch. Okay. Then battle. We could battle the Marquis here. I don't think that there's any like real downside to that. Oh, except if I take damage, I break my items, of course. We don't have to battle. What do we get out of battling? Attempt to remove enemy pieces. I wonder. It's kind of hard to like think like that. Okay, so another important note is that the Vagabond character or player, before the game starts or at some time in the setup of the game, chooses a character. Like we are playing the Thief Vagabond right now, but that's not the only one. There are 4 different ones, and this guy has the special ability to steal, exhaust a torch to take a random card from a player in your clearing, right? And he's got evening rest. These are just the Vagabond's traits. If in a forest during the evening, repair all item. And Lone Wanderer, your pawn is not a warrior, cannot be removed from the map, and can move without ruling a clearing. Indeed. Okay. Oh, and we see the quests here in a summary. That's really nice. Alright, I think we've covered basically everything. I don't know what to do with these kettles and the money yet, so there's still stuff to learn. But let's see. I think we might just continue to evening here. I'm not sure that I need to attack. The thing is, if I attack, we exhaust a sword, and we are only getting to refresh 3 of our cards or items anyway. So everything I overspend right now is not gonna necessarily refresh. And so they play the game normally, and we just run around causing havoc. Not unlike the Woodland Alliance. Poor my kitty cat. Oh, that's a lot of mobilize. Choose items to refresh. And we will refresh the hammer. I want to refresh a torch. Not so much the crossbow unless we need it for a quest. No. So let's take a boot. You can always use the boots. Alright. Now they want me to explore a ruin. They want me to complete a quest. We can maybe do both in one fell swoop, and I need to sneeze. Sorry about that, I'm back. So we can't explore a ruin and do a quest in the same turn because they all require a torch, and we only have one torch, and you also need those for explorations. Maybe we can craft something. This one's sold out. What does that mean? Oh, I think there are a limited amount of these bag icons available in the game as a whole. And they have all been crafted or found. So I have one of them, but probably you have one. Is there only two? That doesn't really make sense. So how can it be sold out? Oh, up here I think is the supply. I've noticed this button before, yeah. So these are the craftable items. There's only 2 of them up here of each. But I wonder why then there are 3 bag slots. If you can't get 3... maybe there's something that we don't know yet. That's fine. So I think we slip in... maybe we can... if we can complete a quest, I think that would take priority. So can we get into a rabbit clearing, for example? We should maybe go for a fox clearing since we have 2 quests for those. So if we can get to a fox clearing. Yes, here. And there's a ruin too, so perfect. Here we are able to complete a quest. So repair a shed. Sounds good. Let's just take the victory points at this point. Good. Gaining a victory point. That didn't grow my character though. It just gained us victory points, and we lost the torch and the... was it the hammer? So, or a boot or something, I don't know. But my point being, if we had looted the ruin, we would have gained another action. Or not another action, well, but an item which is equal to action, so we could have escalated the character as a whole. I think that may have been better. We can do another quest here. Oh, we just drew one, and we are able to complete this one. This one gives us 2 victory points. Interesting. But a boot and a bag. Oh, and if I do a bag and exhaust that one, then I won't have enough capacity for all my items. And now I kind of want to do it just to see what happens. Because knowing is half the battle, and this is just a tutorial. So I think we do the bad play, and we take the logistics help here. We will gain the victory points and learn what happens. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, so what does it say here? Your satchel is overcrowded. At the end of turn, you must discard 2 items. Okay. Yeah, they get hard removed. Okay. So then I wonder if I can do something about that. Oh, we can. We could buy a bag from the Woodland Alliance. We can give them this card that we are unable to craft anyways. Oh, this one we are unable to craft. Technically not unable to craft this one. This one is completely sold out. But then again, this one gives us a victory point, even though we can't get the bag, I think. And this one doesn't really interest me that much. Also, giving them the fox icon is not as good as giving them the... or is better for me than giving them the bird icon. Even though I'm allied with them, I mean, I don't want them to win, because then I lose. With a caveat, because there's a way to get a shared victory, but as a base, I would want to give them the lesser card. So we're giving them the fox thing, we will exhaust a sword, and we will take the bag. fixing our item situation. Perfect. Good. And we still need to explore a ruin, but we could do that next turn. So, end it there. Trying to keep an eye on like what the AI does with this turn, because now we're getting to a point where I sort of know how each of the different factions play, but I think there's a huge step from knowing the mechanics in this game to playing it well, and I am looking forward to start learning some actual strategies in this game. And I have no idea about whether or not the AI is good at playing this game. I will say though, in my first game that I played before I started the tutorials here, I got completely wrecked by the AI. So they're definitely not incompetent, which is always refreshing to see in a computer game. We need the torch. I think I want the back, and then I want a hammer again. So continue. So now we can slip first. And I suppose it would be a waste not to use that move. So let's check our quests. If we go to a fox clearing or stay, then we could try to complete this one. But we don't have this kettle thing yet. We might want to go for a rabbit clearing then. If we can find one. There's one down here, but no ruin here to explore, and same up there. Okay. I'll just slip into this one over here. You drew a card that crafts a sold-out item. Tap the supply icon to view the available items. Indeed. Each item a player's craft is taken from the supply. Once an item is sold out, cards that reward that item can no longer be crafted. Oh, not even for the victory point cost? Or victory points? I thought maybe... Well, that's an easy thing to test. If I want to craft... Yeah, they would not allow me to do the birdie bindle, even though I would just do it for the victory points. That's interesting. So that means that I have literally no use for the birdie bindle anymore, except to give it to others for aid. So that's interesting. We can craft this thing. Oh, we get the kettle. Okay, and 2 victory points. That doesn't seem half bad. I want to explore first. I think the exploration thing is a pretty key thing, like a part of being the Vagabond. You want to go out and clear the ruins. It gives you an item straight away. And then it's kind of interesting because you want to do that. At the same time, by doing that, you open up the board for the other players to play buildings, which is a really cool overlapping mechanic. I really want to see what this kettle does, so let's craft one of those. Each kettle, I'm going to call it kettles until I see another word for it, you have increases the amount of items you can refresh during your birdsong by 2. Oh, wow, that's really good. Wow, okay. So obviously you would want a kettle ASAP. That's what this number means. This is the refresh rate. Refreshes this many items each turn. Aha. So now we can take, instead of effectively taking 3 actions per turn, we can now... get away with taking 5 actions per turn and refresh all exhausted items. We have the draw rate. Oh, that's what the money is for. The draw rate. Draw this many cards in evening. Aha. Very cool. And attack power. Deals at most this much damage in battles. Each sword provides an additional attack power. Aha. We just need 3 more points. And I don't know that we can get any right now. Though I do wonder, what if I, when other characters or when the other factions, they destroy buildings, they get victory points. I wonder if it's the same. Right now we have 5 exhausted items, so we don't. If I exhaust more items now, I will not be able to refresh all of them next turn. That's not necessarily a problem, just something to think about. You definitely want to exhaust equal to or more cards than your refresh rate, otherwise you're wasting refresh rate. That's my point. Right, and we've gotten to that point, so we don't have to spend actions. Aid will give me what? No crafted items, but I can still aid them in order to get victory points, I believe. And if I want to raise my relationship with them, though, I need to aid them 3 times in a turn. We can do that in a bunny clearing. I wonder if I'm right about that. Yeah, see, we can, but the thing is we need to exhaust an item for every one of them, and that would be 2 swords and a bag. I still think it would be fun to try, so let's just see if we can do that. Choose a player, and we're gonna do all of them. Exhaust. Oh, we can exhaust the kettle as one of them. I see. There. That did not give me a victory point. Okay, because we didn't actually increase our relationship status, but let's keep king making here. And then, again, with the bird card here, doing the kettles. Now we're not refreshing 5, but I think it's fine. You are now allied with the Woodland Alliance. Each time you give them aid, you will score victory points. You may also command their warriors in your clearing to move and fight by your side. Oh, yeah, right. Forgot about that part. I wonder how that works out. And that was the end of our turn. We literally have no more items to exhaust, so it auto-ended my turn, which is also a nice mechanic. Double sawmill down there. Yeah, it definitely seems like with Marquis, you just want to span buildings. The more buildings you have, the more powerful you are as the Marquis. I think the hardest thing about playing the Marquis, though, is that you only have 3 actions per turn. I feel like those 3 actions are very limiting. Although you can trade in bird cards for extra bonus actions, which is of course something you want to do, which means though you spend cards to get more actions. So as the Marquis, it's very important, I think, to get your draw rate up, which is gotten by building recruiters. And to get recruiters, you need more wood. So there's this whole system. The workshops I'm not really sure about, but I'm probably overlooking something really important in building workshops. Anyway, I definitely want to refresh our kettle. I want to refresh the... We are in a, mouse clearing. We could go to a rapid clearing and then we would win this turn. So we just need the torch and the sword. So we will go to a mouse clearing. But we can also aid for the victory, right? So I know we can win with the quests, but we haven't done this part before where we aid in order to gain victory points flat. So we just aid them, we give them, or we exhaust a sword, whatever, because we're so peaceful. We get 2 victory points for that, and that's just what it looks like. Okay. And somehow that makes us the Lord of the Forest. Yeah, so I think that's it for tutorials in general. The tutorial is complete. Put your knowledge to the test in the challenge mode. Probably not. Not right now, anyway. Now, there is something to note, and that is if in the expansion that is out already, the clockwork introduction, learn about clockwork enemies. Oh, I don't own the expansion, so I'm wondering. I didn't think I was able to click the button. We're not interested in doing this right now, but I'm gonna check it out and see if it's relevant. I'm not sure about what the purpose of this expansion in general is, and I might need to inform myself about it. As far as I understand, it makes you able to have AI players in your game. In the board game, they have like a way to automate the different factions. But in the board game, we already have that without buying that expansion, so I'm not sure what this one does. Not that it matters right now. And then the challenges. Or local play challenges. Interesting. Normal game against 2 easy AIs. Total domination. There's a rule for sure that they didn't cover at all, which is the dominate card, and that's kind of interesting. Look at all these challenges though. Huh. I might try some of them out. I don't know how interesting. Oh, look, there's so many though. I mean, that means that they spend a ton of time making these challenges. So there's probably something to do here. Though I probably would prefer just to do a solo play. You can also do pass and play. Not sure how that works. And then at some point we will also try to explore the online play. The shop has to do with the expansions. And I did want to just drop a quick note that the 27th of this month, there's a new expansion dropping for this game, which is called the Riverfolk expansion. And I haven't really read up on it, but it adds another faction, as far as I understand, the Riverfolk, and 2 new Vagabond classes. So I'm very excited for that as well. But for now, this was the end of the tutorial series. I hope you all enjoyed it, and stay tuned for some actual root gameplay coming out soon. And that's it for now. Keejchen is signing off.